but you can't tell what's at the sides of the door, it's a safe bet to, you know, charge out, because worst case, you elbow the one zombie, you get past them, and then you can deal with whatever's out there once you're away from it. Alright, well there's zombies right here, so we'll deal with this. Hey, don't go anywhere. We're not done here yet. Oh, and also, we saw that zombie with a giant blade shoved through them. That's a bread knife. The way you can tell the difference between bread knives and machetes is if you look at the handle. I actually can't get a good look at that one. You see bread knife here? There's 3 rivets in the handle of a bread knife. But let's see. Free meal on a concrete platter, yeah. Goldie Rose says, how about, like, stairs? I found it dangerous from, like, an apartment stairs in Rosewood. Yeah, stairs are dangerous. I actually really, like, very specifically do not like the stairs in here because there's, like, an overhanging rung above it. And so when you step there, if a zombie is at the top, it can see down at you, but you have to turn to look up. So the zombie can just, they'll, like, toss themselves over the sides of the stairs sometimes and just land on top of you, and it usually results in a takedown. Or drag down, or whatever they call it. So, like, stairs can be super sketch. Oh, and as a pro tip, you see how I have listed here rotten? If you have cooking of over 7, you can use rotten ingredients. You just don't get nearly as much out of them. It is safe, though. And just think of it as, like, your character is knowledgeable enough about cooking that they can cut around all the edges of, like, whatever badness is there. Like, they know how to make it safe to eat or whatever. But, like, the nutritional value, both from hunger and calories, is way lower when it's rotten. Trying to stay in that spot because I saw there's a hunting knife there and I was trying to get an opportunity to loot it, but not that big a deal. I have plenty. I just need to keep, like, I need to make sure I grab them from time to time to keep the supply up. Alright, looks like a migration triggered or something. We got the zombies closing in from all sides again. We run into that periodically. how's it going, Lulu? And you have a hand axe, so give that to me. Oh, no, this isn't our base. This is Rosewood. Sorry. Let's see. Catching up on chat. How do you improve graceful? I am not aware of that. Like, I do know when it comes to tripping, there's a lot of stats that do matter into it. Like, I want to say if you're obese or like severely underweight, I think you're supposed to have a higher chance of tripping. If you have clumsy, you're supposed to have a higher chance of tripping. Stuff like that. But that could all be things. Shock Trooper says, does being dirty and or bloody actually do anything in the current build of the game? If I'm not mistaken, yes. When you take an injury, it increases the chance of you getting a normal infection. So not zombie infection, but like regular old bacterial infection. So not a death sentence, just something to do that. Now that said, regular old bacterial infection in this game is pretty much insignificant in my opinion. Like, I do wish they made that more dangerous, that like you had nothing going on with it. It gradually gets worse and worse if you don't treat it until it does become a problem. So that way getting like an infected wound, it's like, oh, I need to either boil some water and get some disinfected rags or some disinfectant or some bourbon. Like, make it something that, oh, I have this infection on my arm. I need to go and, seek out medicine now. Like a new thing you have to worry about. But make it not take a whole lot to heal, just something like that. Let's see. It'd be cool if it was a skill you could improve. Hey, Lawful Falafel, thank you so much for the raid. Let me go ahead and get you a shout out. Lawful Falafel also plays Project Zomboid. I haven't caught your stream in a couple of days. Are you still doing well, I mean, you had 4 runs going the last I checked. Are you still doing the push for the 100,000 zombie kills? Yeah, now Lulu, I put this generator here. Generally speaking, because I have enough generators, anytime I see anytime I see a gas station, I got a spare generator, I'm just gonna dump a generator in the middle of the gas station with gas to run it. So that way any gas station is usable for me. Yeah, no, in real life, getting a serious infection and an injury is very easily life-threatening. It can be extremely dangerous. And if not life-threatening, it can do all sorts of harm. Project Zomboid, getting an arm infection, it's not even noteworthy. It just means your scratch or laceration or whatever's going on there will take slightly longer to heal up than it otherwise would. Let's see. Lawful says, I've been putting too much on my plate. Now 4 runs plus back rooms 2 challenge and playing Lost Ark as well. Yeah, I did see you tuned in, or I did see you were playing a little Lost Ark. That was the one I saw the other day. And that said, on the infection thing, if you ever see infected on this screen, this is not zombie infection. Zombie infection does not show up on this screen in any way other than your life draining till you die, which is actually the fever killing you. So if you see infected here, don't go, oh god, like flip your keyboard or something. It's plain old boring bacterial infection. So like, nothing in that health screen should scare you other than bite. Being bitten basically means you are infected. You're dead unless you're modding or you have non-default settings. If you could find a way to keep the fever under control, I believe you would stay alive. It's just, I don't know how you can keep the fever under control. Like that's the caveat. I don't think there's a way to suppress the fever meaningfully to keep you alive. They, like, I can't say it's 100% because I haven't had a chance to properly test it. But fever 100% by itself kills you. It doesn't need help to kill you. It's just in itself it is lethal. And zombieism causes fever, and I believe that's the way you actually die is from the fever, from zombieism. And it just, you know, it gets you. Oh, it's all good, Falafel Falafel. Thank you so much for the raid. I do appreciate it. I do hope you had a good stream, and I hope you have a great dinner. Yep, we are at 56,000 zombie kills. As playing a dangerous game there. Thank you for the follow, Godiro. Welcome to the stream. Oh yeah, no, and I do that sometimes. Like I can get another hit in. Okay, Lulu, the approximate population. So we don't have a solid number. So before the multiplayer update, based on other people's math from the base population of the game, we figured that the population of the entire map was somewhere in the area of 900,000 zombies. Now, that doesn't count Louisville, it doesn't count where they adjusted the population like to like where zombies are and stuff like that. That's the stuff that we just really don't know. So our educated guess is 1.2 million, but there's a lot of wiggle room where that could be off. Like we don't have a means of verifying it, except for if I kill all the zombies on the map, you know, then we would know. At least 60 million? No. 1.2 is what we're thinking. Which is one of the reasons why myself, Mr. Lamprey UK, like we keep not really comparing our runs, but like when it comes up discussing, it's like, yeah, we're both going to be killing like about 1 million zombies, but just kind of entirely different setups and everything else to get to that same point. 16 times pop falafel. But again, that's based on a lot of guesswork. So that number is like, it's those ones like, we believe it's around there, but we couldn't say with any real credibility. Not until someone does a bunch of math that we haven't done. I mean, someone could create a world in Project Zomboid before they killed any zombies whatsoever, and that'd probably be the best way to do that. Because at this point, I've already removed a ton of them. We can actually start concentrating on picking up hunting knives pretty soon. Luckily, if I'm not mistaken, I got a pretty good stockpile in the back of the truck. That's just how much I use hunting knives, the fact that, like, I just keep 30 in the back of the truck just for when I need them. And I still have probably that many more back at base. Alright, let me see what we got. Let's see. Onion is saying, even distribution at 16x debug, then extrapolation. That's still guesswork. Yeah, no, that's fair. Lulu says, my last run ended because I tried to step on a zombie to incapacitate it with a crawler. I'm at a whopping 6 deaths in a row. Yeah, no, that's like, I usually try to always make sure it's like when I'm showing people that it's like, hey, you can stand in a zombie. It's like, just don't stand in a crawler. Like, that's the one no-no. Don't stand in a crawler. It will bite the crap out of your ankles. The reason we're driving so slow is you can roll your car and launch your car using bodies. There is a pretty significant presence of bodies on the road right now. Oh, we missed one. Easy to solve problem. And solved. And solve this one. Let's see. Empty Barrel says, trying to play this and watch at the same time is disorienting. Oh yeah, because you'll hear the zombie and you'll be like, oh god, where is it? Especially when you're like walking around in your house and you hear the jump scare sound because it's on the stream, and you're just sitting there just like, all right, where, like, my character just saw a zombie. Where is it? Alulu says, what is your go-to for a first temporary base in the first few days? Your starting house, or you look for something? I usually look for something, but you got to keep in mind a lot of the settings I play as, when you're talking like 16x pop, insane pop, that kind of thing. Kind of the joke is, you spawn in, you loot your starting house, and then you're unceremoniously evicted from town. Because, like, you won't have the weapons to kill the zombies that are in the area kind of thing. There's too many eyes to sneak around reasonably, that kind of thing. And there's stuff you can do to, like, loot and scoot, but it depends on a lot of stuff, and sometimes you just can't make it work. So I usually see it as I start my run, you know, I grab what I can out of the building I'm in. If I'm lucky, I get a second building, and then I'm evicted from town, and I will find, like, you know, a farm or an ice cream parlor or whatever's in the area that I can get some food, maybe get a bottle of water, or a bottle I can fill up with water. If I'm lucky, some tools. And I usually won't make that into like a permanent base, just that'll be like kind of my grounding point to start from, to go, okay, from here I want to push to wherever the destination ends up being, and I'll start pushing. Yeah, that was very clearly a migration as a whole group. They went right along where we'd have an area that we've cleared. I mean, you shouldn't feel like a coward. Like, again, you can play the game however you want. Like, whatever's fun to you. You know, congratulations, if you're playing the game and having fun, you are playing the game correctly, no matter what your settings or whatever. Like, if you want to turn the zombies off and just build houses, well, if you're having fun doing it, sure, you're still playing the game correctly. If you want to do like this, where we have an absurd number of zombies and multiple helicopters, and maybe you want to turn up the AI on the zombies to be even more dangerous, sure, why not? That's fine. You're still playing the game correctly so long as you're having fun. So, like, just the same is, if you're doing a run and you get evicted from town right away, that is what it is. It's like, oh, but I'm at regular zombie park. It's like, it's fine. Like, even like, I've had definitely times, like, in regular ones where it's like, I set off a house alarm, it's like, alright, well, this place is overrun, and I have, like, this one mostly broken claw hammer. You know, that's not going to be enough. Yeah, so Lulu's saying, like, one of the difficulties they have is not knowing what they need to get. I mean, that's kind of the thing. Like, a lot of times you can have your character dictate the things you need. Like, is your character thirsty? Alright, well, you need water. Is your character hungry? Alright, well, you need food. Like, you don't even have to worry about, like, the generator isn't necessary, the freezers aren't necessary. Like, a bunch of carpentry supplies and tools aren't necessary. You can live in existing buildings perfectly fine. That said, there's absolute benefits to doing a lot of those things. Like, you can actually just live 100% where you just have a backpack, and you just go from home to home kind of thing. And you just take canned goods and tools. And, like, nothing else. Just what you need to fight zombies, and food and water. And you can survive a number of years that way. Hey, morning, Face. Yep. But we put up quite a few thousand more zombies on our kill count since you probably went to bed. I'm actually surprised we're still seeing any meaningful number of zombies. I appreciate the posture check. I think I'm in pretty good posture. I'm not slouching. Like, I'm not sitting up the straightest ever, but I'm like slouching over or anything like that. Yep, we're at almost 1 year. That's like realistically, I should have wrapped up stream like 2 hours ago. Like, I really should have. But like, part of me is like, we can go like another day or two. It's fine. And plus, if I'm being entirely honest, we got a pretty good number of people tuned in. And I've made it no secret that I am shooting for partner. So when I'm having a larger stream, it's like, okay, like I wanna push, keep the stream going as long as possible, because that will help my numbers. And average viewers is absolutely just difficult to keep up, or not keep up, but to get to where you need it. So yeah. So far of it very much is the motivation of trying to make that partner finally happen. I gotta hydrate. I'll do that. Just chilling in the car for a minute, recovering some stamina. And I'll go bludgeon some more zombies with the crowbar. Alright, replacement hunting knife. Hold please zombies, hold please zombies. I said hold zombies. Cool, I believe this is the road that if I follow that, it'll take me to the residential area that we are hoping to reach to actually sleep in this town. To get out of our super sketch bath or super sketch gas station. Let's deal with the loner first. That way, as much as possible, we keep all the zombies on the same side of us. Actually, not inch the vehicle forward. Let's rest for another minute. Just to make sure we don't go exerted. Then we'll start clearing out all the zombies that we run into. Okay. The thing I want to check is, I think at some point I actually messed up the loot organization. I did. Because I would like... Okay, there we go. I want the weapons on the top. Yeah, Lou's saying the NPC update will be pretty weird for this game. I wonder how they will make the gun wounds treatable. I believe you'll need tweezers to remove the bullet, and then otherwise it's treated, I believe, just the same as you would a deep wound. Like, I actually think it is considered a deep wound. Because if you do the extended helicopter mods, or you have someone shoot you with multiplayer, you can test it out right now. Mort says, it bothers me that I haven't found a meta food in PZ. Something I could cook up every other day, given the ingredients, and eat regularly and stay at 80 kilograms. Yeah. The closest I've come to is, combining veggies and, like, fish. Does pretty okay. But it does require, like, some tweak, because not all fish are the same. Oh yeah, keen hearing. If, like, I've said it a number of times, like, if you could only take one positive trait, you know, why is it keen hearing? Like, you just take keen hearing. Like, it is, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, fast learner is a contender, but keen hearing is just such a powerful thing for keeping you alive. The only time I don't take keen hearing is if I'm doing a deaf run, and that's because you're not allowed to take keen hearing if you're deaf. All right. I'm worried that we're going to get drowsy soon. So we need to make sure we keep our vehicle clear. Hopefully get that all sorted. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to push in this neighborhood too fast, I don't think. We'll keep working at it. So is drowsy something you make up temporarily with something? So drowsy you can kind of temporarily put away with vitamins or coffee or tea, but it's basically from not getting enough sleep. Well, not getting. You're getting to the point your character is getting sleepy. The thing is, as you get closer and closer to getting sleepy, the rate you recover stamina gets slower and slower, which means you'll get exerted faster and faster. So it's kind of thing that's saying like, hey, it's time your character needs to sleep. If you are playing a multiplayer with no sleep, it's not a mechanic you have to worry about though. It is a solo character only, or if you have your multiplayer settings set up for it, which is not default. Most people won't turn on sleep in multiplayer just because it's a huge hassle to deal with. Yep, there's Drowsy. So now in this we go from killing zombies mostly in 2 hits, sometimes 3, to mostly 4 hits. So it's a significant damage penalty. It'll slow down our stamina recovery, which means we're more likely to get exerted, which is a significant damage penalty. And that's kind of like where you get the slow spiral where every one of those penalties you get means worse and worse damage, which means you have to fight longer and longer, which means you get more and more exerted, until eventually there's just, you got nothing left. I didn't see a machete. Kind of what the catches is, unfortunately, the bread knives can almost look really close to machete, it's just you have to go by the handle. But unfortunately, we need to get our character out here. How is my food situation? I am down to a stack of potatoes. I could stay. I'm not going to use my car's radio just because I don't want to blast out the sound at full volume. Yeah, I think we won't drive the whole way home. We'll just go back to our gas station. And we'll keep clearing here. I do believe this is probably going to be my last night or the last day we play today. That I will be finding someone for us to raid in not too terribly long. Just because it is after 6 a.m. my time. And I started stream at 5 p.m. my time. So we are at about 13 hours of stream so far, so you get the idea. I've been doing this for a little bit. It's getting pretty late. Why are you all here? Why are you doing this? Thank you for the follow, Sonic Silver. Welcome to the stream. And on that note, if you've enjoyed the content tonight... Yeah, now we've talked about me doing a 24-hour stream. I think that might be how we celebrate hitting partner is... I'll do a 24-hour stream. Yeah. So, if you have enjoyed the content you've been watching so far, and you'd like to see more, don't forget to drop a follow. It'll be a little tricky to find your way back here without it, so it's worth doing so. We do play a variety of games. Project Zomboid is the big one we play. We play this 4 days a week. We play this Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. We do have a second game, which is actually in progress of being determined, that we play on Sundays and Mondays. It was RimWorld for the longest time. However, RimWorld's not been doing particularly well on... I shouldn't say that. RimWorld is not doing as well as it used to on Twitch recently. And that makes sense. They haven't had a major update in a long time, so, you know. These things happen. So we have removed it from our roster, and we are in the progress of determining what will replace it.